Hello and welcome back to Eppa Worldwide. Eppa Worldwide is a channel dedicated for bringing an awareness on parental alienation. So if you are new and you don't know what parental alienation is, parental alienation syndrome, targeted parents, alienating parents, and all that, please check my other videos on the channel. Thanks for being here. If you are subscribed already, thank you. I appreciate everybody that have subscribed. If you are new, my name is Malicious Parents. I am a survivor of parental alienation, domestic violence, spousal abuse, a lot of stuff, so a lot of trauma background. But most important is I have overcome, and I give glory to God. You know, that's the beginning of this video. You saw the video on Shatawale's song Ankawamuye Kume, Ankawamuye Aseme, Nansumi Minyame de Otiasipa, and Tenedie, if you're the me dunie, Ebenezer, if you're the me dunie. I have been broadcasted by the alienating parent as somebody with mental health disorder, but thank God I don't have it, never been diagnosed with any mental health disorder. Don't forget, everybody, we do have clusters of personality disorders, which some behaviors will be so evident in your personality. And that is just who you are. It's your personality. Being strong, being determined, being all that is a personality that everybody have. Different people have different kind of personality. But anyway, that being said, welcome back to this channel. And my name is Malicious Parents, and today's topic is going to be on malicious parent syndrome. In parental alienation syndrome, which I describe as something that affects the children, it is not one symptom. Something becomes a syndrome when it's a cluster of symptoms. It's not just one, it's a multiple of behaviors that comes together to get described as a syndrome. So when we talk about malicious parent syndrome, we are talking about almost like, I want to compare malicious parent syndrome to parental alienation, whereby the parental alienator, that is who a malicious parent is, in my opinion. We have here Dr. Ira Turkat. Dr. Ira Turkat is a clinical psychologist and also somebody who has specialized in family law disputes. He has vast experience with that includes child custody, parental alienation, false allegations, relocations, hostile divorces, and stuff like that. And he is the first person that brought this phenomenon out after he came across a couple of cases. So after a while, he termed it as malicious parent syndrome. So he said it's a set of behaviors that a parent takes on during or after a divorce to punish the other parent. Basically, they take it on during or after divorce to punish another parent, sometimes going far enough to harm or deprive their children in order to make the other parent look bad. You see, so we've been talking a lot about parental alienation, and I just want to compare it to malicious parent syndrome, which in my opinion, I think is a lot of similarities. It's the same thing, in my opinion, if you ask me. But in this case, they said they do it purposefully. In parental alienation too, it is done purposefully, but in parental alienation sometimes it's not, because we talk I didn't talk on this channel. On my Facebook page, if you go to Eppa Worldwide's Facebook page, you see this, whereby I talk about the 3 types of parental alienation: the novice, the naive alienator, the active alienator, and then the obsessed alienator. So I'm comparing the malicious parent to the obsessed parental alienator. Yeah, so unlike in parental alienation, sometimes the parent would do it unaware that they are being an alienator, but in malicious parent syndrome, they are deliberately, says Dr. Ira said, they do it purposefully, and they do it to seek revengefully towards another parent. Okay, these are some of the characteristics of the malicious parent. They attempt to punish the divorcing parent, though alienating their children from the other parent and involving others or the court in action to separate parents and child. Malicious alienator, just like the obsessed parent, they always want to deliberately separate the child from the other parent. They engage in actions or behaviors that benefits them only, not anybody else, not the child. They also uses the courts, to their advantage. Nothing that is child-centered or nothing whatsoever. They said the malicious parent also seek to deny children visitation and communication with the other parent and involvement in the child's school or extracurricular activities, which is very true, and that is very common with obsessed parental alienators. Parents that alienate their children, that are deliberately doing it, that know what they are doing, that calculates, they sit back, plot, plan, and execute. These parents are obsessed parental alienators, and they are also, in my opinion, or in comparison to malicious parents. Okay, they seek to deny children, we talk about that, lies to their children and others repeatedly, and may engage in violations of the law. You have no idea. I keep talking about how many times I went to have access to my children, and I have to call the police just to see my children. The court orders, I have to see them. I have to have them certain period. I have to have them certain weeks, every other week, whatever. And you go to the exchange location and they are not there. The alienator is not there with them to bring them, and sometimes they are not even with the alienator. They are somewhere else. The alienator is probably at work, or it's just a mess, and it doesn't help the children whatsoever. Okay, and they lies. Oh my God, you don't want to know. I'm trying to let you know this behaviors versus just telling you of mine, but I will be chipping in my experiences as we go too. What the experts have identified about the malicious parent is that they do these things during or after divorce. Don't forget, this man is Dr. Ira is a clinical psychologist, and he's an expert when it comes to the family law. He has advised lawyers, and he was one of 3 of the world's most outstanding clinical psychologists in history. 2011, he was nominated as one of the members of the British Psychological Society as one of the most outstanding clinical psychologists in history. So these things I like to bring you these things from experts, so you know that they didn't just get up overnight and came up with a term. This particular term, malicious parent syndrome, was brought up by Dr. Ira. You understand? After many cases and many clients and research. So you know that this is not a healthy phenomenon for anybody to engage in. So they said clinically, malicious parents are vindictive parents, clinically and legally. During her clinic, they said, from examples of vindictive parents in clinical and legal cases. You see what I'm saying? So, according to Dr. Ira, malicious parents are what? They are parents that are in his clinical practice and his legal practice. They are being noticed to be vindictive parents. Who is a vindictive person? Somebody who deliberately takes actions and steps to harm somebody, to set you up. I have been many times found myself in that situation. You know, let me tell you simple example. Like many instances, my kids are due to come to me. This is my week to have them, as they were in 2-parent homes prior to this time that they've been with me for 10 months now. Okay. And they come to me and they are with me. A parent want to set up appointment for them to go and see their doctor. Wouldn't you want to do it during the week that they are with you? I would want to do that. So I also get to know about my kids and stuff. No, the parental alienator or the malicious parent will send a message to the schools that they should not release the kids to me. Maybe they came to me Monday. They have to go back like next week, Monday. So Wednesday, he will send a message. The kids should not be released to me. They should be released back to him because they have to doctor's appointment. So here lies the case. The school don't know his plan, but his plan is to deprive my access, limit my access, which hurts the kids and probably me too, yes. Secondly, if you don't allow that, he's going to brainwash the kids, manipulate the kids, and badmouth you to them and say, you had doctor's appointment and my kids love to visit their doctors, okay? And your mom didn't want you to go and didn't release you to come. So in manipulation. Third, when we get to court, if I release the kids, he is going to come to court, which he has done many times. He comes to court and be like, I release the kids back to him during the middle of my visitation, and that interrupts his time to go to work. That affects his schedule, and that I'm a bad mother, and that I'm not following the court order and my visitation rights to have access to the kids. So on many different layers, he plots, plans, and executes. So vindictiveness are such parents, malicious parents, described by Dr. Ira, according to his experience clinically as a clinical psychologist and also as a legal practitioner. Okay, it says some of these behaviors include burning down. Malicious behaviors of the malicious parents involves burning down the ex-partner's personal effect, like your property, basically damaging it, which I have endured this also. I remember back then when my ex-husband was given custody because I was moving out of Maryland to Buffalo, New York. Got a job there, everything, got school to do my bachelor's degree, everything. And I didn't know that could make me lose custody. And he got custody because they considered me moving the kids out of Maryland, okay? Soon, but I couldn't even get home to get access to my kids, items. I got home and the lock was changed and every personal item of mine, I left that marriage with my 10 figures. Even my own things were trashed, damaged, clothes, everything. Okay? It's just by God's grace that I'm here today, guys. I'm here. By God's grace, I have overcome on many levels, okay? I've lost my home, I've gained it. I've lost, like, everything human being could possibly say you cannot overcome, you cannot do. God has done it for me, guys. So keep the faith and don't give up. And that is the purpose of this awareness. So you know, though some people may hurt you, but shouldn't be the end of your life, okay? So let's continue with malicious parents. You see, so they purposefully, they falsely accuse you, the other parent, of abuse. Yes, there was an instance also where my son came they came to me with injuries from them. They endured it from their babysitter, according to the kids. And instead, when CPS got involved, they were told to say the injuries occurred in my home, which did not. So they lie of abuse, they lie about you, the targeted parent, of abuse and stuff like that. So malicious, these are things that are done vindictively. They are plotted, they are purposefully done, they are executed, and they are done to hurt somebody, to hurt you, the targeted parent, but indirectly it hurts the kids the most, okay? Or they purposefully interfering with planned parenting time, which we talk about, that visitation interruption. Another example that they talk about was that in instances of malicious parent syndrome, a mother told, an example that specifically Dr. Ira stated in this article is that a mother told her children they could not afford food because all the money was taken by their father. I'm in that position. I could tell my kids that, but God being so good to us, I never had to tell them. My kids have food, plenty food to eat. Their needs are taken care of, at least according to my strength and my ability. But thank God they haven't complained yet. You know, I could also be like, oh, if they ask me something, you know, we don't have money. My child, my money, you are with me, but they still take child support and give to your father. So I can't afford anything. I can't give you food. I can't do this. I can't do that. But that's, thank goodness, that has never happened. It's my duty. It's my right to provide for my children, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter whatever is going on. I have no business whatsoever to bring it up in discussing it with them and saying how that affects my ability to provide for them. You understand? So I never had to do that. But this is an example. It's a parent, because again, in Dr. Ira's case, malicious parents syndrome, before, when he first acknowledged it, he wrote an article that was termed as malicious mother syndrome, malicious mother syndrome. But eventually, when he got to know that both men and women engage in the act, then it was changed to malicious parent syndrome. Okay. In another example that Dr. Ira gave was that a parent repeatedly misinformed the other parent about school activities, so that the parent could not participate in the child's school life. Yeah, so Dr. Ira also, this example is basically like the malicious parent. Maybe the child have an activity to attend and it's tomorrow. So the malicious parent don't want the mother to come or the father to come. So would distract you, give you a different date whatsoever, maybe a later date. If it's on this Saturday, they will say that next week Monday is the football activity or the dance concert or the music concert that your child is going to perform. So in that case, the parent will not go. And then the malicious parent will have the opportunity to lie to the child that, you see, your mom don't care about you, so she didn't come to the activity. You see, your father don't care about you, so she didn't come to the activity. These are what malicious parents do. Personally, I have endured many times of these instances. But like I said, if you want to look at my other video on the channel on what targeted parents can do to overcome, to re-enhance or rebuild a healthy relationship with their children, check that video. It's on the channel. So that's some of the things I did consistently. Not being a different person that I am to my kids has helped my relationship with them. So they said in all of these actions, the intent of the malicious parent is to harm the other parent. Okay, in my opinion, really, it is to harm the children. It's not harming. I'm still here. They say I was mentally impaired. Today I'm here. I'm going to become a psychiatric mental health. Soon I'll be providing care or diagnosing people with mental health disorder. So think about it. Emotionally, it was draining. It has affected me. Yes, I won't lie about it. But the people that it hurts the most is the children. I have to be honest to you. So, psychological consequence of malicious acts. When one parent goes out, you know what, let me bring this closer. When one parent goes out of his or her way to hurt the other, great strain can be put on both the harmed parent and their relationship with the child. In some cases, a parent who is repeatedly subjected to malicious acts by their ex-spouse may withdraw from their child's life in order to avoid further conflict. A malicious parent may also successfully manipulate a child, resulting in them disliking or wanting to spend less time with the other parent. And this is so true. So the psychological consequence of malicious acts, they talk about it. I think at a point I have endured that also, where I was talking about a year ago, where my son, one of my sons, was made to not want to come to me, even call the police of neglect. After the child refused to come to me, I went to pick him up. He refused. He called me a B word and all that. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have fought for you. I'm going to be your mom, but I'm not going to be abused by a person I'm fighting for. I want to protect. You understand? So that caused me to restrain myself from seeing him, because it was around the same time that I was submitting documents to get a CPS clearance for me to do my clinicals, and just like he did, the parental alienator did, the malicious parent did when I finished my associate degree, and he made me to have a docket, a record, criminal record, stating that I was calling his phone. The same thing happened with this. The child refused to come to me. Soon as the malicious parent got home, he made them call police that I abandoned my child. I neglected my child. It didn't go far this time around, but it caused me to stay away from the child and like, you know what, I'm here. Whenever you want to come, I'm ready for you. You see how it goes? So yes, it can strain the targeted parent's relationship with the child. It can cause the targeted parent to stay away, but I want to encourage you to not do that. Even though you can physically stay away for your own sanity and your own safety, but don't stop engaging in following up and checking on the child, because those are your evidence for the child in the future to get to know that you were there, you were trying to be involved in his life or her life, but you were being prevented. So emails, texting. So if you want to know some of the strategies that are helpful, I have 11 evidence-based practices that targeted parents can indulge in. It's on the channel. Kindly watch it, share it. Somebody may benefit from it. The other one they talk about is that a malicious parent may also successfully manipulate a child, resulting in them disliking. And the child, in some cases, we talk about that already. In some cases, the child will also not want to engage or see this other parent or targeted parent as in parental alienation. Not because they don't want to, but they don't even know what they are doing. They are being made to believe all these lies. As a result, when somebody keeps telling you constantly, you are this, you are that, your mom is this, your mom don't like you, mom do it, and you are not seeing the mother, you are not, eventually you believe it that, yeah, maybe she don't truly, or your father don't like you, your father don't care about you. If you are not seeing your father, you are not hearing from your father, you are not constantly seeing text message or anything, you are going to believe these lies. The child is going to believe this lie. So eventually the child will know, eventually the opportunity comes and you have to face your child in real life, it may take you a while to explain to your child. But if you made the effort with the text messages, the emails and stuff, you show that proof to your child will eventually believe you, and your relationship will be what it needs to be. Okay? The legal consequences, they talk about as a malicious parent, you can face civil and criminal. Malicious parents can face civil and criminal issues with the law, with the legal system. So examples of some of the criminal stuff that they talk about is that some actions related to malicious parent syndrome can be easily understood as criminal acts, such as attacking the other parent or damaging their property. Yeah, property. Providing, depriving children of food or money. Yeah, yeah, my kids have been through all this, okay? In order to make the other parent look bad. Can you imagine? I'm paying child support, but my kids are with me. You understand? So imagine me starving my kids and make them believe why they are being starved. It's none of, they shouldn't face any consequences because of what I go through. I have to do my part to provide for them, to ensure they have their basic needs met. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, physical needs are basic. They are primary, and every person, human being, must get it. Safety, shelter, nutrition, like they are just basic needs that nobody should be deprived of just because of my situation. You understand? So I can imagine doing that, but some malicious parents do that, and that's what they are talking about. Okay. So some of the acts that are considered criminal when they destroy property, they starve the children in the name of, oh, I don't have food to give you because your father or your mother have access to our money, this and that, in order to make the other parent look bad. It could be considered as child abuse, which can violate both family and criminal laws. Similarly, should a malicious parent lie under oath, perjury, that is called perjury, he or she may be charged with a crime of perjury. Yeah, I just said that. But I'm telling you, be honest with you, people lie. My ex-husband lied so many times under, like, serious lies under oath, and they don't do nothing about it. So don't count on the system. I keep saying that. Do not count on the system for the system to be there for you, fight for you. Forget it. Forget it. Make your life child-centered. No matter what it is, do the best you can in your ability to provide the best life for your children, and that whatever circumstance you're going through with your ex, any opportunity of being exposed with your kids is an opportunity to grab it, make it meaningful, make it memorable, build those memories with the kids, and that's what is going to take you far. Okay. Then they also talk about the civil law, the violation of the civil law, which example is denying a parent their court-ordered visitation. Like I said, I have been through that many times. I have been denied access many times. The court don't do nothing about it. If you call the police will refer you back to court. The police will tell you that it is because he made them believe that. Until the kids got to the point where they are talking themselves, and now nobody can do nothing about it. For the 10 years I have dealt with this, the kids, I have been denied access many times, guys. Nobody does nothing about it. Yes, but otherwise, rightfully, the person should face civil charges and maybe have a change in the visitation rights and access, and even who have legal custody and stuff could change when it comes to that. Sometimes they can be referred to parenting classes, but I'm saying, nothing that gets done. In the civil aspect also, they said the malicious parent, they lie about the act of the other parent in the way which harms his or her reputation. So they can face defamation of character, you understand, which results in actual injury, can constitute defamation, you see. But it will take you a mile. It will take you pulling a leg and pulling a teeth, breaking a leg to get those charges awarded to you. So the best thing is to do the best you can to not engage in all these conflicts, but making your child, everything child-centered and child-focused. Thank you all for being here. If you are new, like I said, thank you for coming along, watching this video, share it, get somebody to hear of it, and know that this topic today is on malicious parent syndrome, which I compared it to the obsessed parental alienator out of the 3 types of parental alienation. Yep. So if you're new, thanks, watch, share, subscribe,